Ryan Leaf. When the Chargers drafted Ryan Leaf second overall in 1998, his four-year, $31.25 million contract included a guaranteed $11.25 million signing bonus, the largest ever paid to an NFL rookie at that time. The contract structure was so complex that it included performance escalators and voidable years. And here's the kicker. The Chargers front-loaded the guaranteed money, which actually made it harder to cut him when he imploded. Leaf threw 36 interceptions to just 14 touchdowns across his entire NFL career. The weird part? This contract structure became a cautionary tale for what not to do with rookie deals. It got so bad that in 2000, after threatening a reporter and completing just 48.5% of his passes, the Chargers released him with a 4-17 record as a starter. The NFL's rookie wage scale that came later was influenced by disasters like Leaf's contract. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're just getting started with these jaw-dropping stories. JaMarcus Russell. In 2009, JaMarcus Russell started 9 games for the Raiders and completed 140 passes total. He made approximately $13.1 million that year. That's roughly $93,500 per completion. But here's the truly bizarre part. Russell's 6-year, $68 million contract with $31.5 million guaranteed included performance escalators the Raiders knew he'd never hit. Reports surfaced that the Raiders gave him blank DVDs labeled as game film to test if he was actually studying. He came back claiming he'd watched them. Russell completed just 52.1% of his career passes with 18 touchdowns and 23 interceptions across 3 seasons. The total damage? About $39.3 million paid out for 25 starts and a 7-18 record. Oakland didn't win more than 5 games in any of his 3 seasons. His contract became so notorious that it's credited as a major reason the NFL implemented the 2011 rookie wage scale. Johnny Manziel. When the Browns drafted Johnny Football 22nd overall in 2014, his 4-year, $8.25 million deal included $6.7 million guaranteed. But here's where it gets legally fascinating. The contract included clauses that could void future guarantees if he violated team conduct policies. Within days of being drafted, Manziel was photographed partying in Vegas, yawning at his first press conference. Then in Week 17 of the 2015 season, he left the team without permission to party in Las Vegas wearing a disguise. That violation triggered the conduct clauses. When Cleveland cut him in March 2016, they successfully voided $2.17 million in guaranteed money that was supposed to pay out in 2016 and 2017. Manziel started just 14 games in 2 seasons, throwing 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions with a 57.8% completion rate. The Browns went 2-18 in his starts. After his release, it came out that the team had assigned a handler, an actual assistant, to monitor him during the bye week. He ditched the guy and partied anyway. Total career earnings? About $7.7 million for 1,675 passing yards. Joey Harrington. The Lions drafted Joey Harrington 3rd overall in 2002 and structured his 6-year, $36 million deal with specific bonuses tied to community appearances and media obligations. Translation, they weren't confident in his on-field abilities, but hoped he'd be a good face of the franchise. Harrington went 18-37 as a starter in Detroit across 4 miserable seasons. But here's the really strange part. His contract included escalators if the team made the playoffs, not based on his individual stats. The Lions never made the playoffs with him, going 24-52 overall during his tenure. Detroit paid him roughly $36 million to post a 26-50 touchdown-to-interception ratio. The weirdest detail? Harrington was a classically trained pianist who played at Detroit Symphony Orchestra events multiple times. The Lions actually marketed his musical talent harder than his quarterbacking. After Detroit, he bounced to Miami, Atlanta, and New Orleans, never starting more than 8 games in a season. His career completion percentage? 58.2% with a 71.0 passer rating. Matt Leinart. After winning the Heisman Trophy in 2004, Leinart could have been the first overall pick in 2005. Instead, Leinart stayed for his senior year, lost to Texas in the 2006 Rose Bowl 41-38, and watched his draft stock drop to 10th overall in 2006. Akili Smith went first overall in 2005. Leinart's 6-year, $51 million Cardinals contract had just $14 million fully guaranteed. But here's the catch. Leinart's contract had unusual performance bonuses that required him to start 45 games in his first 4 seasons to trigger additional millions. He started exactly 18 games in Arizona. Leinart went 8-10 as a starter with 15 touchdowns and 20 interceptions over his entire career, not just Arizona. The Cardinals benched him for Kurt Warner, who led them to a Super Bowl appearance. Financial analysts estimated Leinart likely cost himself at least $20 to $30 million by staying in college. He earned about $29 million career NFL earnings, despite starting just 18 games total. DeShone Kizer. In 2017, the Browns drafted DeShone Kizer in the 2nd round, 52nd overall, and immediately made him the starter. Kizer started 15 games that season. Cleveland went 0-15 in those starts before finishing 0-16. Overall, he threw 11 touchdowns and 22 interceptions with a 53.6% completion rate and a 60.5 passer rating. But here's the absolutely bonkers part. Kizer had the most starts, 15, of any quarterback in a single season with a 0% win rate in NFL history. No other quarterback has started 15 games in one season without winning once. Head coach Hugh Jackson claimed Kizer was getting valuable reps while the team imploded. Kizer's rookie confidence was so shattered that the Browns traded him to Green Bay for just a conditional pick after 1 season. His career stats: 0-15 record as a Browns starter, 22 interceptions and 11 fumbles in 1 season. His guaranteed money: $4.7 million. The Browns went on to draft Baker Mayfield first overall the next year. Total NFL career: 4 seasons, 0 sustained success.
Chris Weinke spent 6 years in minor league baseball before attending Florida State, where he won the Heisman Trophy in 2000 at age 28. The Panthers drafted him in the 4th round in 2001 when he was already 29 years old. Here's where it gets truly bizarre. Weinke's contract reportedly included age-related injury protections because Carolina was concerned about his durability at 29. The team basically built in expectations of a short career. Weinke went 2-17 as a starter over 3 seasons, throwing 15 touchdowns and 26 interceptions with a 64.7 passer rating. But here's the kicker. Because he was drafted at 29, Weinke's career earnings were only about $2.3 million over 3 seasons. For context, Ryan Leaf made over $31 million guaranteed just 3 years earlier as the 2nd overall pick. The NFL's age bias actually saved Carolina millions on this bust. Weinke later became a college coach. Total NFL stats: 2-17 record, 31 touchdowns, 37 interceptions across 45 games. He's now the quarterback's coach at Wisconsin.
Heath Schuler.
When the Redskins drafted Heath Schuler 3rd overall in 1994, they gave him an 8-year, $19.25 million deal with $5 million guaranteed. In 1994, that was astronomical money for a rookie, the largest rookie contract in team history. Schuler held out for 2 weeks before signing and went 4-14 as Washington's starter, throwing 15 touchdowns and 33 interceptions with a 54.3% completion rate. The Redskins were financially devastated, and the contract became infamous. And here's the wild part. Schuler's contract, along with similar disasters with Ryan Leaf, became a case study used by team owners to lobby for the 2011 CBA rookie wage scale. Before that change, top 5 picks could negotiate massive deals with no performance history. Schuler's contract structure showed how risky that system was. After 3 seasons in Washington, he was traded to New Orleans for a 5th-round pick. He later became a U.S. congressman representing North Carolina. His NFL legacy? Helping change the rules because his contract was such a disaster.
Akili Smith.
The 1999 NFL Draft might be the biggest what-if in league history. With the third overall pick, the Bengals selected Oregon QB Akili Smith. Here's who was still available at that point. Champ Bailey went 7th, 12-time Pro Bowler. Edgerrin James went 4th, Hall of Famer. And Dante Culpepper went 11th, 3-time Pro Bowler. But wait, it gets worse. The Saints had offered the Bengals all of their draft picks that year, 7 picks, plus 2 first-rounders the next year to move up for Ricky Williams. Cincinnati said no. They wanted Smith. The result? Smith went 3-14 as a starter, threw 5 touchdowns and 13 interceptions, completed 46.6% of his passes, and was out of the league by 2002. Total career earnings, about $10.6 million for 17 total career touchdowns in 4 seasons.
The JaMarcus Russell Rule.
After the Raiders catastrophically whiffed on JaMarcus Russell, first overall, 2007, NFL teams revolutionized how they evaluate quarterbacks. Before Russell, teams rarely questioned a quarterback's work ethic or football IQ if they had elite physical tools. Russell could throw 70 yards from his knees. Teams thought that was enough. They were catastrophically wrong. Now, teams conduct extensive Wonderlic tests, NFL's cognitive assessment, personality evaluations, and intensive character interviews as standard procedure. Miss sessions, they forfeit workout bonuses worth up to $500,000 yearly. Additionally, some teams now can include study hall requirements, where QBs must log minimum hours in the film room with tracking systems. Russell showed up overweight, reached 290-plus pounds, unprepared, and reportedly used codeine syrup. He collected $39.3 million while going 7-18 as a starter. His failure literally changed how NFL teams evaluate and monitor quarterbacks forever. If you made it this far, you're officially an NFL history expert. Drop a comment with the worst QB decision your team ever made, and don't forget to subscribe for more insane sports facts nobody else is talking about.